Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. I would like to use this time to talk a little bit about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's brand new song, WAP, which if you don't know what that stands for, listen to the song, not the edited version, because if it's the edited version, you might not get it. But I would like to talk about this track outside of the context of the bars, which I like, and also the instrumental, which I like, and the hook, which I like, and discuss it a little bit more as a watershed moment for female sexuality in hip-hop. Now, of course, I'm not trying to say there haven't been female pioneers and groundbreakers, even artists who have been sexually explicit in their lyrics in hip-hop in the past. Of course there have. But now there seems to be this huge range of voices that just did not have the platform in the past, whether you're talking about a Little Sims or a Young M.A. or a Rhapsody, and of course even a Cardi B. I mean, it's getting to the point where the number of women putting good quality bangers out there is getting hard to keep track of. And this change in the gender dynamics of the current hip-hop landscape has led to an increase in perspectives, in stories, and now even the tone with which sex is being approached is beginning to shift a little bit. Now, in the defense of male artists, it has been changing a little bit on their side, with guys like Drake getting a bit more moody and sensual and introspective with the sexual narratives of his music, or even Kanye West, who has been totally unafraid to get supremely freaky with some of the sexual fantasies in his music, stuff that frankly would have gotten him a lot of eyebrow raises in the 90s or 2000s. But what is my interest in this video is exploring WAP as an attempt to reclaim the female sexuality narrative for a female perspective, as the perspective we hear in this track is not often one that is mainstreamed as much as it is in the case of this song. Of course, in hip-hop music, which has a history of being explicit, there's no shortage of wet-ass pussies in the general sense. But the point of view of this track is, this is my wet-ass pussy. This is what makes it wet. This is what I'm going to do with it. These are my sexual fantasies, and my sexuality also gives me a certain kind of power in the social dynamic that can get me whatever I want. Now, look, a lot of hip-hop these days, and really since the start of the genre, has been based on like a power fantasy, getting the things that you need, the things that you would like, having this need or that want fulfilled. And in the case of WAP, we're hearing that same story but told from the other side of the gendered fence. Not to say this track is uniquely raunchy or anything like that, because prior to this, we had Cupcake and Nicki Minaj and Kaya and Lil' Kim and Gangsta Boo. The list goes on and on and on. And if you want to talk about stuff outside the genre, there's artists like Peaches. If you want to talk about stuff that was way before like World War II, you can talk about all the dirty blues music of the 20s and the 30s. So in concept, sexual explicitness in popular song is nothing new. The point I'm trying to make here is that from the female perspective, it seems to be gaining a bit more mainstream traction. I mean, just in me stating I enjoy this track and that I think it's great, I've gotten a fair amount of pushback for it. And not just pushback that's like, oh, the song's trash and it sucks, which generally is fine. You don't have to like WAP as a song. You don't have to think it's a good song. You don't have to think the rapping or the writing is good. That's okay. But many of the criticisms I've seen thrown at me about the song have been along the lines of, this track is going to hypnotize little girls into being whores. This is just music for sluts, essentially. We even have a wonderful tweet from a California congressional candidate here that mentions the song. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. Interesting that he knows so much about their upbringing and their family's attitude toward religion and all that. Their new song, the WAP, I love the WAP, which I heard accidentally made me want to pour holy water in my ears, and I feel sorry for future girls if this is their role model. Let's set a few things straight here. You are messed up at parenting if you are giving your kids some kind of like, you know, a long-term or repeated exposure to this track. You know, it's not really the fault of Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B that kids might be hearing the song, because kids shouldn't hear the song. People shouldn't be showing this song to their kids. Same with any number of future songs that are sexually explicit. Same with any number of Lil Wayne verses, because, I mean, over the course of that dude's career, he's done lyrically so many different things to the pussy, I've lost count. Also, what about artists like 303 talking about my dick? I have a feeling that James hasn't accidentally heard that song. So considering that, why would it or why should it be any different for WAP? Well, the answer is that it isn't. It's kind of sexist to assume that women can't view and enjoy media made for adults with the same nuance and filters and context that you, my mostly male audience, do with the videos and songs and everything that you like to watch and enjoy. And don't get it twisted, because I'm not just simply stating an opinion here. The rejection of the point that I have just made to you stems from a patriarchal attitude that women's sexuality needs minding, it needs controlling, because if they had full say over what they wanted to do with it, oh my God, they'd just all become strippers, which of course is never going to happen. The real fear here is that guys might actually have to put in some effort, some real physical and emotional labor to be perceived as, you know, fuckable. And all of this for me is what makes WAP so much more than just a song about WAPs. As a final point here, from a mostly straight male perspective, isn't it just sexy to hear women singing or rapping about how they like sex, their sexual fantasies, their sexual desires, themselves as sexual beings? Isn't that just sexy or sexier than hearing your favorite rapper rap about what he wants to do with his dick? Because, I mean, I don't know. My favorite rapper's dick doesn't really turn me on. If my favorite rapper gave me his dick, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I mean, hey, I'm sure it's nice, but I'm not interested in HADs. I'm not interested in HADs. I'm interested in WAPs. Okay, I'm more of a WAP guy, not so much a HAD. If you want a HAD, that's cool. HADs are cool. HADs are great. But I guess I'm a little bit more of a WAP. So those are my thoughts. Those are all my thoughts on all these WAPs. Okay, let me know what your thoughts on them are down in the comments below. And you're the best. You're the best. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, WAP forever.